Heading the colonial mindset, once again touching upon the Panch Pran. And some time back, when he was speaking at the US-ISPF, the Strategic Forum, US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, he mentioned about Yahi Samay Hai, Sahi Samay Hai. Zaka Jacob is just at the upper level where they were also listening on the big video wall. Zaka, over to you.
All right, thank you very much. So I have the enthusiastic audience here who've been sort of watching and soaking in what the Prime Minister said. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Ajay Shah.
Okay. And what did you make of what the Prime Minister said? What was your reaction to what the Prime Minister said?
I was just amazed the way he talks certain things, and he's opening up some routes, which is a great thing.
What was the best part for you in the speech?
For me, I think best part was the businesses. Business, yeah. Business coalition connection is because it's very hard to, even when you are doing some business in India, it's very hard to connect with the Indian people too, and it was very difficult. So it's made it very easy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. We have So what has happened, Anand? I don't want to impose on people, but dinner has been served. I'm really sorry, but if I can get a word from you, what did you make of the Prime Minister's speech? What did you think of it?
Post 2014 is the time when India got real independence. And every trip that Narendra Modi does gives Bharat multiple time boost. Okay. That's in a nutshell. So in about next 10 to 20 years, we should be one of the top 3 economy, I would say. Okay. Or are we getting there?
All right. What was the best part of the speech for you, sir?
The announcement of the technology collaboration happening, and a lot of US companies, especially Google and those investing for the latest technologies that Indian youth will also benefit.
What about a young person here? What was the best part for you in the speech?
Oh, it's a pride moment for all of us, especially the young generation that this guy who's been working for our nation for a very long time and as a national level as well now, since 2004, was it, right? So he's been doing the great things, and it's just, we feel proud to be part of India, from India, and being accepted and looked upon the certain levels of acceptance that we have now compared to before. We didn't have that kind of exposure.
I won't keep you away from your dinner. Enjoy your meal. We have a senior citizen here as well. Do you enjoy what the Prime Minister said?
Absolutely.
What was the best part?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
And we're proud of it.
Okay. I won't keep you away from your dinner. Please go ahead. All right. So there you have it, Anand. Like I said, the hall's kind of emptying out now because people have gone to the other side to get their dinner. For me, I think in the speech that he said, the biggest sort of standing ovation in this entire hall was for 2 things. One, the opening of the new consulate in Seattle, and of course reciprocally in Bengaluru and in Ahmedabad. And 2, when he said that for H-1B visas, you will not have to leave the United States to get it re-stamped or reissued. I think for that, almost the entire hall here stood up and applauded. And I think that really was the big sort of moment in this speech so far.
Well, the Google setting up a fintech lab here in India, fintech operations in India opening up, that was a big announcement. Also use of AI to aid in those people who don't speak English and to incorporate far many more Indian languages. He also hailed Tamil. So there is a political reference back home, closer home in the run-up to Lok Sabha 2024. But the Google announcement was significant, and that also received a lot of applause. A lot of people are connecting with this AI, America, India, and artificial intelligence, Zaka.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, even President Biden related to that by giving Prime Minister a T-shirt saying AI means America and India. We have again few more people. Sorry, I'm disturbing you while you're eating. आपके लिए क्या best part था in the speech of the Prime Minister?
The best part is the new contract they have signed between India and America. It's going to help lots of people. The second best thing was the H-1 visa holder in America have always a problem to get renew visa. They have to go out of the country. Okay. They don't have to go anymore. Okay. This is a very good. He has encouraged us to be a pure Indian and helping both the countries.
What about for you? What was the best part?
Every bit of it. I attended yesterday's congressional meeting. Super. Yes.
So your expectations have been met from the Prime Minister?
It is expected, honestly. Every bit of it is expected. He is very good. He made everybody quiet also, right?
Yeah.
They were disappointed initially because of the space, but they were calm now, right?
Okay.
He's powerful. Yes.
All right, sir, for you, what was the best part?
Whatever he declared, everything is the top of the level.
Okay.
इसके पहले nobody can done. Any president from India, he came here. Whatever he get the decision and he did with the Biden, all the contract is top of the level and all the benefit goes to our Indian community.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So, like I said, I don't want to impose on people while they're eating their dinner, but it has been a pretty ecstatic, almost exhilarating sort of atmosphere here. Like you can see, I mean, many people have left the tables, they've gone to sort of collect their food. But yeah, it has been pretty exciting for all of these people. Many of them have come from far and wide, driven down 3 hours, 5 hours. I met a person who came all the way from California. So yes, for all of them, I think it has been worth the while coming here and listening to the Prime Minister firsthand. And of course, like I said, the biggest applause was for the H-1B visa announcement and for the new consulates that are opening both in America and also in India.
It's like the sweet dessert. He said that my address and my interaction with you, the diaspora members, he was also able to woo them away and calm them down because they'd been waiting for a while. And like one of the gentlemen just said, a little frustrated that there was so little space. But does the Prime Minister now immediately leave for Egypt? What happens next? Does this conclude his America visit? No more engagements?
Oh, that's it. I think he mentioned that as well. He's going straight to the airport. And this is usually how it is whenever he has these diaspora events, whenever he goes on foreign visits, particularly where there is a large diaspora. That's almost the concluding sort of event. And then he leaves right after that. I think the last time he was here in 2022 or 2021, also he did the same. He finished the diaspora event and then left immediately after that. So I think the real sort of takeaway from this visit, if you were to assess it, I think two things. One, I think both India and the United States, from the leadership downwards, are sending out the signal that they are investing in each other. This is the long-term bet that both countries are willing to make on each other for the long term. And I think this is an inflection point really in the Indo-US bilateral relationship, not just for these two countries individually, but also certainly for global affairs. I mean, let's face it, the fact is that China is a threat. The fact is that this Russia-Ukraine war has accentuated or accelerated, Russia and China coming together. So that means that the US and India, along with some of the other European partners, have to sort of form this bulwark. Of course, yes, India will have its own choices. It will rationalize its own choices. It may not agree with all the choices that America makes, but that is fine. That's okay. In a diverse relationship such as this, there will be some divergences, and that's par for course. The second big thing, I think, is both the Prime Minister and the President, I think, made a mention of this. What they're betting on, as much as they're betting on their peoples, as much as they're betting on their two countries, they are really betting on technology. I think what they're hoping for is technology, whether it is in defense, whether it is in semiconductors, whether it is in space technology. That technology will help leapfrog this relationship. I mean, what China managed to do over 30 years, transform itself from a poor country to now the second biggest economy in the world, can India do that in 10 years? If India has to do that in 10 years, then the leapfrog has to be technology. And that's what we heard this morning in the meeting with Tim Cook and Sam Altman and Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella. That technology is what will propel India and America to the next league. And that's the second big bet that they are making through the course of this visit.
Quite an interesting moment. That that young girl who you spoke with, whose mother you spoke with, who said she's going to sing the American national anthem, Mary Milben singing the Indian national anthem. So this cross and exchange underlining. And thereafter, the Prime Minister initially also very profuse in his praise for President Biden.
Yeah, he said that at the US ISPF event as well. He said this at the dinner yesterday. I think, generally the perception around Biden is that he's old and he's sometimes not entirely coherent and so on. But I think one thing is very, very clear. He is very firm in his belief that the US-India partnership is something that America is willing to stake a lot on. And I think that's a lot of it is also being driven personally from the level of the leadership. Of course, the bureaucracies align, the diplomats align, interests align, all of that is there, no doubt about it. But I think, in relationships such as this, when you have to make, era-defining changes, or when you have to make like seminal changes, it has to be driven from the top. And I think we're seeing that both with President Biden as well as with Prime Minister Modi. And I think Prime Minister Modi understands how invested in this relationship President Biden has been. Yes, we have seen, in the previous administrations as well, when Donald Trump was president, when Obama was president, they did accept and they did acknowledge and they did say that, yes, the partnership with India is the way forward. But somehow with Biden, I think the Prime Minister also mentioning that 2 or 3 times. I was there at the US ISPF event. Before that, he said this here at the Diaspora event as well, that, and I think it's partly also because of this sort of image around Biden or this perception around Biden. But I think on the India relationship, he's made a very, very decisive choice. And I think that's driving the relationship forward.
The quick mention, I know dinner is served and you've also had a long, tiring day, Zaka, along with Ravinder. What's the spread looking like? Is the spread an interesting one at the dinner table that's being served? Because the organizers said that sabko khana zarur khilayenge, because there's absolute silence around you.
Queue of people. Yeah, because evidently, look at the other side of the hall. I just want Ravinder to sort of show you the other side of the hall. Everybody is at the sort of buffet counter trying to get whatever they can. I haven't checked it out yet because you've been keeping me busy. Okay, yeah. So I can see the naans, I can see papad and chutneys. And yeah, of course, for main course, I think there is there is
a congressman. We want to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can see like dal, and I think there's a lot of sabzi there. I'm just sort of rattling off by looking at people's plates. I haven't made my way myself into the buffet counter, as it were.
Well, quite a big spread, and everybody very focused.
There you see it, Anand.
Very focused.
Yeah, you can see why this side of the hall is a little emptier compared to that side. But yeah, that's the way it is.
All right, stay on with us, Zaka. We've just got the young lady who sang the America national anthem, the of Indian American origin. Let's listen then to what she had to say soon after singing, because the Prime Minister commended her too for the way she sang. And I'll come back to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Riya Pawar. I'm 16 years old and I just sang the US national anthem for Modi ji.
How are you feeling? You just heard the chants of Modi Modi everywhere.
I'm feeling so inspired. Honestly, being able to stand on stage next to Modi ji and even touching his feet was something I never would have imagined. And he's one of my most favorite role models, so I honestly look up to him, and I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to sing in front of him today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goosebumps in the entire room. What will you say? You have already performed for many presidents. What will you say?
Well, I'm just so honored to be here. The Prime Minister is such a wonderful and kind man, and it was just a sincere honor to be a part of his state arrival visit this week, to have been with him in New York, and certainly to honor him tonight singing the Indian national anthem. I loved hearing the crowd sing the anthem. You could hear the passion in all of their voices, and so a true honor to be here tonight. Thank you to the ANI team and family for all your kindness to me in my career, and a joy to be here tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, God bless. God bless.
Can you say it?
Yeah.
Well, that was Mary Milben, and there were goosebumps, and there were the people, the way she sang the national anthem, even the Prime Minister walking across and commending her for the way she sang the national anthem, and it was just fantastic, the atmosphere there. Let's just quickly go across to Zaka and check with him. Zaka, before you get your hands on the dinner plate, that was a fantastic moment.
I have the Deputy Commissioner of New York with me. Sir, What has been your reaction to what you heard from the Prime Minister just now?
So you see that today after the Prime Minister visit, what kind of economical engagement happened, but also Prime Minister has given the full credit to the Indian diaspora for their contribution. I think this is such an amazing thing, and this is just starting point. We can see so many more bilateral engagement is going to happen in the New York City. Again, my name is Dilip Chauhan. I'm the Deputy Commissioner for the New York City Mayor Eric Adams Office for International Affairs.
You were there at the Yoga Day event in New York. Eric Adams was there. What did you make of the New York leg?
So just to let you know that New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he also believes in yoga and the meditation and the health and wellness.
Okay.
So he was glad to be a part of the Yoga Day events, and you heard his speech.
Yeah.
Yoga should not be remain at the mat level, ground level. It should prosper us all over the world.
Okay.
So that's the message New York City Mayor Eric Adams has given to everyone.
Thank you very much, Deputy Commissioner. Sir, what's your name and what did you make of this Prime Minister's speech?
My name is Sridhar Nagireddy. I've been here 25 years and I ran for office in Virginia for county as well as for the delegate. So this is a tremendous opportunities like India and US relationships and like Abdul Kalam used to say, 20th century is for India. It's coming true, the dream coming true, and we want to invest the micron and like the applied materials and all the like new things are coming up. It's great opportunities to be strong and stand up in the world. Maybe soon the number one.
Okay, we have a gentleman here. So your name and where are you from?
My name is Dr. Damodar Narela. I'm from Atlanta region.
Okay, what did you make of the Prime Minister's speech?
It was great speech and very glad to hear a lot of good things. He managed to do like H-1B visa, which is very...
Why is that such a big thing?
Because I myself, have to go to India and make appointments in Bombay and wait for several weeks, spend a lot of money to get
get the visa re-stamped.
Appointment.
Okay.
Uncertainty.
Okay.
It was very painful.
All right.
My
Thank
only
you.
request, I have a request for the next visit. I'm a citizen of America now, but most of us, the citizens all over the world, would be very glad and request to make a dual citizenship process, and which is a good thing for India as well as us.
Okay, all right. We'll see.
Because we were born there.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Sir, what's your name, where are you from, and what did you make of the PM speech?
So my name is Anand Avasti, and I live in Maryland, not very far from here. And I thought it was a great speech, a lot of energy. As you can see, the energy in the room. It's one of the best speeches of Mr. Modi, and I think it's all the right things. A lot of new initiatives for Indians and even the Indians in India and here as well. So I think overall one of the best speeches, and we are very excited.
All right.
And as he said, that it's just getting started.
All right. Ma'am, what is your name and... yeah.
Honorary President of Nagaland.
Ma'am, what did you make of the speech of the Prime Minister?
Well, unfortunately, I don't speak Hindi.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Yes, my name is Grace Collins, and I'm the Honorary President of Nagaland in the United States. And I'm very interested in Modi coming here because Modi promised to resolve the 75-year-old conflict with the Indian government. They've been in a ceasefire agreement for 25 years. And Modi promised in 2015 in the framework that they would resolve, and he declared the resolution.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't think that was the issue of discussion today. But we have more. We have more guests here. Sir, what did you make of the Prime Minister's speech?
Excellent.
What was the best part for you?
Two country, India and America relationship is very very strong bonding.
आपके लिए क्या सबसे महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा क्या था?
यही था जो मोदी साहब ने बताया कि दोनों कंट्री के जो ट्रस्ट की बात है वो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है.
ट्रस्ट की बात, म्यूचुअल
सिस्टम में जो है आज आपने सबने देखा है क्या है. मोदी साहब ने जो डील किया है तो नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए और अपनी कंट्री और अमेरिका के लिए दोनों कंट्री के लिए ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए भी बेनिफिशियल होगा.
Alright, thank you very much. So there you have it, Anand. I'm sorry I'm interrupting people's dinner, but there you go. I mean, it's been a packed house here. In fact, an overflowing house because they had two separate halls. They couldn't fit everyone into the main hall, so the rest of the crowd had to be accommodated here. But I think the Prime Minister really ticked all the boxes as far as this diaspora is concerned. And like I said, I think many people were saying that the H-1B announcement was a big thing for them. A lot of them are asking for dual citizenship.
Yes.
I don't know if that is possible in the near future, but let's see. Let's see how that story plays out. Yeah.
Well, how the OCI cards was dealt with now H-1B, but multiple people have spoken about this dual citizen issue. But let me ask you this. This is like a roundup.
Canada to see Modi ji.
So somebody's come from Canada to see Modi, has just passed you around, passed you by. But you've tracked him. So let's do a quick 2-3 questions on the roundup of the trip so far. So from New York City to DC, what's been the transition or what has been the highlight for you so far in this trip?
I'm live on it. Look, I think for me personally, the highlight was definitely the opening ceremony at the South Lawns of the White House. I think that was quite phenomenal. It was the first sort of engagement that he had in Washington, D.C. Of course, the Yoga Day was good as well in New York, but in D.C., the first major engagement on the main day of the state visit was, the South Lawns and the receiving ceremony, the military guard of honor, the military bands playing. And there was this moment where, the national anthem played and there were these 5,000 Indian Americans singing along. I mean, you just melt in that moment. I mean, for me, that was really, at least personally for me, was a big standout. As far as the visit itself is concerned and what it may mean bilaterally, obviously at the press conference where they revealed officially that the GE jet engine deal is through and the Predators are being bought. So in substantive terms, it was a real big thing, no doubt about it. I think the transfer of technology, I think he mentioned that in the Diaspora speech as well just now, that the transfer of technology is going to be critical. It can actually transform India's defense industry. I have with me a gentleman from the Indian American community. Sir, what's your name?
My name is, I'm a Padma Shri recipient, Dr. Sudhir Parikh.
Okay.
I'm also chairman of the Parikh Worldwide Media and ITV Gold. And
what did you make of the Prime Minister's speech?
Well, I think Prime Minister's speech was very good. He enumerated quite a few things what went on with the yesterday with the President Biden, and looks like a very promising, great MOU kind of thing. And hopefully this GE deal and probably Google deal will be great for the country, and it will really increase jobs in the...
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So there you go, the GE deal, the Google deal, this is what people are talking about. So, like I said, to underline how this visit will be viewed, I think, like I said, both countries are now willing to make that bet and that investment on each other, not for the next 1 or 2 or 5 years, but for the next 30 years. And I think the transformation of India economically, diplomatically, militarily, that's the bet that America is also willing to make. And I think we're going to see a lot of that play out over the next many, many years.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just taken to Twitter and he's spoken about not just the Diaspora event, but also the fact that he has a fantastic interaction with leading professionals across various fields. But he's also tweeted just now saying, attended a vibrant program celebrating our Indian diaspora, a heartfelt tribute to the strength, diversity and contribution of our overseas community. Their passion is our pride. He's also spoken about the aspect of a strong and developed India that augurs well for global good, and more importantly, the aspect of aspiration. It is an aspirational India that is driving the nation's progress. So he's also spoken about that and tweeted about that. But it looks like with this, there is a conclusion of the Prime Minister's engagement in the US of A. He will be shortly. We should have the visuals of him leaving the Andrews Air Force Base in Air India 1 and headed towards Egypt, where he has a day-long schedule later through this Saturday here in India. But Zaka, coming back to you, you were talking about the event, the state visit, the welcome that was accorded. But this time around, compared to 2015, I was in the US at that time when Prime Minister was taking the Make in India pitch at that time. Around the UNGA 70, he had gone to San Jose and he was making the pitch to the same group of leaders. Was there a difference in the approach towards India about 8 years hence? Did you feel that among the community, because your business community, because you engaged with quite a few of them?
I felt that. I felt that, at the White House, when he was speaking to business leaders, the tech community in particular, I felt that at the US ISPF event, where, again, it was largely sort of targeted at investors, at business leaders. In 2014-15, when he was here, he was making the pitch that, look, come to India and invest in India. Today, I think the pitch more, or at least this time, the pitch more was, India and America need to do this together. I mean, America needs India as much as India needs America. And I think that's the pitch throughout this visit, whether it is co-production, joint development, this transfer of technology that they keep talking about. I think it's come to that stage where both countries realize in this fast-changing global order, and it's very obvious, how this global order is changing. China is upending the rules of the game. You have this whole situation between Russia and Ukraine. Look, the reality is that whether we like it or not, Russia and China are pretty much in a camp. Whether you want to call them allies or not, that's a separate matter. But they are very much in one camp, firmly ensconced with each other. How does the rest of the world respond to that? And the only way you can respond to that is by joining forces. And I think that is the realization that's happened during the course of this visit, whether it is for America or whether it is for India, that until and unless you join forces, the prevailing world order, and a lot of countries have benefited from the prevailing world order, including China, the prevailing world order will be upended, and that is not something that is beneficial to anyone. And I think that is the larger message that's gone out of this visit.
Well, great job done. It's been a fantastic trip overall, it looks like, for India, and it's been some phenomenal coverage. Thanks to you and Ravinder coming in from the US for us here and our viewers at CNN News 18. So it's dinner time over there for you. We're going to take a very short break. Zaka, great speaking with you. And we'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll play out the address of the Prime Minister to the Indian diaspora at the Ronald Reagan Center. The coverage is continuous here on CNN News 18. Good early morning to all our viewers. Stay with us.